morning, everyone. This is Tony from our Homestead Skills. Well, I just got back from, a number of places. I did go to my little garden plot and I picked some tomatoes and some other things that were ripe. Certainly want to continue to take advantage of homegrown food. The little cherry tomatoes that I plant every year, there was an abundance of them, and we just eat those for salads every day. And the last batch that I picked, we finished last night. So I said, here we are. I'm going to go this morning and see, and I'm sure that there's plenty of ripe ones. And I did. I probably have enough now for the next week every night. And maybe even more than that. But, and after that I went to, probably someplace I shouldn't have, went to check out HH Home Hardware, and they had O. Henry bars on sale for, what was it, 69 cents? And I almost bought a handful, and I said, no, I can't keep doing this to myself. I've put on 4 pounds in the last little while from lack of exercise, and so I just bought 2. You know, I can't resist a chocolate. I probably should, though. On the other hand, there are things on my mind lately, and I guess the big thing is the feeling that this is the calm before the storm. That a few years back, I think many of us started to prep like crazy for SHIT, and you know, we all have our backups in place. I know I do. I have all my long-term stuff put away that I don't have to worry about now, but I did spend probably a good year putting that in place. And you know, things that are definitely good for 20, 25 years, just based on the way you store them. Things like your wheat berries and beans and rice and flour and salt and sugar and, you know, just a whole bunch of the basics. Oh, and oatmeal. I got tons of oatmeal put away too. But yeah, I don't even have to go through that list. I mean, there are certainly things that will last a long time if they're packaged properly. There are other things that no matter what you do, you can't store them long term, like the good old olive oil that I used to be able to buy for $5 a liter, went all the way up to $15 a liter, and then some. I mean, those were not the expensive brands, but yeah, they are starting to come down a little bit, but you can't store those long term. They go rancid. You know, things like that definitely go rancid. Butter, you can turn it into ghee, and then you can store that long term. And that's basically taking out all the milk solids, which is what would cause the butter to go rancid. So yeah, you can do that with butter, or you can freeze it, and I definitely prefer to freeze it. But you know, that's not long term either. You know, there's only a certain length of time that you can keep butter in the freezer, and then of course you have to concern yourself with the fact that you might have a power outage, and then what do you do? So yeah, the dry goods, very much packaged away. I don't even think about them. They're there. They are my backups. And right now, I have probably got more than enough of the day-to-day. I have the bread and butter pickles. Yes, that's what they're called. That I processed 2 years ago. Was it 2023? Because I had a huge harvest. Very, very, very great harvest. And I still have about 3 dozen of those pint jars left. So, you know, I've gone through my pantry and I look at it, and yes, I did a big tomato, big batch of tomatoes, 150 pounds here and then 50 pounds in Alabama, and I'm good. I'm sure that the 150 pounds here is going to last me well beyond the 6 months that I'll be spending here. So I'm not too worried about that. I think that my pantry here for things that are, you know, long term, meaning 6 months to a year, I'm good to go. I have gone through the pantry and I feel that I'm fine. My dilemma is right now, not even a dilemma, but my thoughts are focused on how do I develop a pantry down south, because I'll be there over the winter months, not so much the harvest months, whereas here I have the benefit of buying things in bulk during the harvest season, which is what makes it beneficial to be canning this time of year and to be storing things away this time of year. You know, when you can get 25 pounds of Roma, for as low as $9 or $8.88 for a 25-pound box. That's what they are currently. But yeah, they do go down as the season progresses and you come to the end of the season. But that's a very good price. But as I said, when you can get them at that price this time of year and any other time, I mean, just before the season started, a fellow wanted $40 for the same amount. So yeah, definitely the harvest time is the best time of all to buy products. Now, I don't have a garden established there. I'm still very concerned about what kind of things I can grow there. Certainly, you know, in Alabama, like I know what I can grow here, but here it's mainly bulk purchasing. You know, things like my corn, my tomatoes, beans I can grow and package myself. And, you know, the dry goods you have to buy anyway. Things like corn and sugar and salt and things of that nature, you always have to buy. It's not as though you can produce your own sugar and salt. Most of us can't anyway. So, of course, lately my concern has been, I don't know if any of you have been feeling it, but I've just had this eerie feeling lately that it's the calm before the storm. Yes, a few years ago we got all that backup pantry all put in place, and I'm glad I did. I have it there. Emergency food situation is dealt with, is taken care of. Unfortunately, all I'm hearing right now in Canada is very, very bad news. The housing market is collapsing. So I've been hearing sales are very low, whereas this has always been a very robust, you know, you could turn around and sell a home in Ontario without any difficulty and pretty much what you want. Asking price or well above asking, which was always ridiculous in my mind. But chickens have come home to roost and prices are dropping. And when prices are dropping and there's no buyers in the market, we're headed for a serious downturn. And the dilemma there is that, you know, the average price of a home, an average home, and nothing special, 3-bedroom little bungalow for $1 million. And yes, that is definitely overpriced, but when, how much is that going to drop? And how much are the people who purchased at the top end, how much are they going to lose? So when you have people losing hundreds of thousands of dollars on homes, and that's what's occurring right now. The housing probably is not as bad as the condo market. The condo market is gone. I think that one is totally collapsed. I don't know why anyone would want a little cracker box condominium that's not even, you know, 700 square feet, 600 square feet for over $500,000-600,000. So yeah, those are probably going to be cut in half before they're done. So it is collapsing, and a lot of people will be facing bankruptcy and job losses and who knows what else. So it's ugly, it's quiet, you're not hearing a lot of panic yet, but it's coming. It's coming, and that's here in Ontario. I think the rest of Canada, perhaps it's just Vancouver and Toronto, you know, southern Ontario, which is feeling the big brunt of it. I'm hearing that the rest of Canada is somewhat okay. But I still think that this is just the calm before the storm, and unless something drastic changes, and I don't see that. I don't see it happening. Canadians are overextended in serious debt and taxed to death. One of the more highly taxed countries in the world. So what are they going to do? Continue to raise taxes in order to pay for all these promises that they're making? And they're going to have, what, a fewer percentage of the population paying for a greater majority of the services? Don't know. I'm just a simple person, not an economics, but I can do my checkbook at the end of the month and know where I stand, and I think a lot of us trying to run a household know what we can deal with at the end of the month, what's left over, how we can use our money to make it go further. Some of us have learned that. Some of us have learned to live within our means, and others well beyond their means. But that doesn't mean you don't take risks. And I mean, we certainly took a risk buying this property down south, and it's the big problem with that is that I can't be in one property full time. That would have been easy. Anyway, I don't know what to say. It's a bad feeling, and it's just a bad feeling, and I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. So let's see what happens there. Do we sneak by the way we have been the last few years? I mean, we've been expecting a depression for a long time, and we can't say we haven't been in a recession. And for some reason, they just seem to have slid by and managed to people managed to survive, and they found ways when interest rates went through the roof and house prices, mortgages were coming due and they were having to pay hundreds of dollars more per month. The banks, I guess, found a way to help these people to some degree, but just by, what they did here, I think, was just say paying interest only for a while. But that just makes pushes the cost down the road. And now that house prices are going down, all the equity is lost anyway. So, or a lot of it is lost for a lot of people, definitely for those who bought at the peak. So I don't know. I know that there's going to be a huge fallout. We've been expecting it for the last year and a half. It hasn't happened yet to any large degree, but you could see a lot of foreclosures all at once, and that will absolutely depress the market for years to come. It'll probably take 10 years to recover from that. So yeah, there is worry, there is concern. I hope you're all working to get yourselves out of debt. We're doing that as well. I drive a very old car, and as much as I would love to buy a new one, I don't, this one gets me back and forth where I want. So for the time being, the repairs are not expensive. The insurance is not high comparatively. So I continue to drive this old car, and I don't have to go far. It's not as though I need something that I have to get back and forth to work every day, because I don't have to do that anymore. And if I had an issue where I didn't need my car for a day or two or a week, that would be fine. If it needed to be in the shop, that would be fine. I wouldn't be hurting. So, things of that nature, you try to make sure that you don't push yourself beyond what you need. Yes, a new car would be nice. Mine's quite old. I think it's almost 20 years old, but it still gets me where I want to go. So I'm not fussing over that just yet. And yes, I could have bought myself a new car and not bought the property down south. You make your choices. Can't have everything. But as I said, yeah, there is definitely a concern, and I am very much wondering how I'm going to develop a pantry down south. That is another concern. I'm well stocked here, And I have to start that process all over again down south. And it may not be as great a pantry as this one. It may be even better. Who the heck knows? I'll know better when I start. I know that I can plant, I've got lots of land and I can plant some things. It's just putting a garden together is not oh, bang, you put a garden in and you're there. No, to develop a real garden takes years, but we will work on it slowly, maybe just do a little patch. When I get back in the fall, try to arrange something and then just grow it from there. You know, maybe a little larger or a little wider or whatever the case is every year. But definitely a garden is in the works, and you know, anything that you can do to become more self-sufficient is always a good thing. I mean, this is why we bought the land, and yes, it is mostly forested, but there is enough there that I can grow things if I want to. Certainly have probably 4 to 5 times the area for a garden plot than what I do here, and that would be more than substantial. Now, if I was able to move down south full-time, I could definitely get chickens and a goat. And, you know, we're not into hunting, Mark and I. We've never been into that sort of thing. But you know what? If push came to shove, we do have deer on the property, much as I don't like the idea. Rather than go hungry, we could take advantage of the wildlife that's there, which is something we can't do here. So yes, I mean, I have no intention whatsoever of hunting on my property. Don't get me wrong. But if things got ugly and if food was scarce, you do what you have to do. So as I said, I do have slight concerns, and I'm just going to keep an eye on what's going on in the next 6 months to a year. I think it's going to take a while for the fallout to happen, and I don't think it's getting any easier anywhere in the world. In spite of, you know, what we're seeing is a lot of negotiating back and forth on certain things, and I have no idea where that is all going to land. And yes, everyone's has to look after their own countries. I totally agree with that concept. You look after your own home first before you can help somebody else. That doesn't mean you don't help somebody else, but you look after your own home first. So anyway, let's see where all that goes. And take care, folks. Be careful. Keep prepping. Keep an eye out on what's going on in the world. Even if, you know, if it gets too depressing, I understand that sometimes you just have to pull away. And I'm not going to get into details any more than that, but I know that rough times are still ahead of us. We're not out of the woods. It is not all sunshine ahead. There's going to be a lot of storms before the clouds all disperse. Okay. So take care, take it easy. Anyway, this is Tony from our Homestead Skills. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.